This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted to be joined with Showtime Sonny Edwards, fresh from a trip to Orlando. You got the Magic jersey on. How are we, mate?
I can't keep up with Boxing Social at the moment. Every time it's a new different interview. What's going on?
Say again, sorry?
I said I can't keep up with Boxing Social at the moment. It's new interviewers every time. There's a conveyor belt in there at the moment.
Mate, I've been here for like a year, so you know we kept the same three for a while, mate.
Nah, you got a little team. There's a lot of you though.
Only three of us.
Really? Oh God, I'm losing count then. Maybe I'm getting Boxing Social confused with other stuff sometimes. I don't know.
You must be, mate, but the focus ain't on Boxing Social, the focus is on you today. We've just had sort of the UK leg of the press tour with your fight with Bam Rodriguez. How are we feeling? You know, there's a lot of build up to this one. Is it nice to have sort of, you know, an American press tour, a UK press tour? I know it's a lot of media, but it must feel like you know that this fight is getting built up to be a massive cracker that it is.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, to be honest. It's been quite a fun process. I feel like I've taken to it like a duck to water. I've enjoyed going to America, getting involved, meeting the fans, meeting the fighters, you know, being involved in the production of the show, etc. The build up on fight week, coming to London, doing the same here. Obviously, this is my hometown, so maybe a bit more comfortable, but you know, every bit of it is exciting. I've enjoyed the build up, the process, and you know, getting to know my opponent a little bit. It's been quite fun, you know, having the little exchanges, and you know, we played a game of table tennis. We had the punch machine, like the press conference, the public workout today. You know what I mean? We had the gloves off yesterday as well, so it's been really enjoyable. I've enjoyed the whole process, to be honest. Like, I think it's obvious when you look at me that I enjoy being involved, you know.
I was going to say that where this fight is getting built up massively, that must help your profile so much to actually feel like you're going to be in a big fight, because probably the biggest fight of your pro career so far, and it's getting the treatment that it deserves in a way.
Yeah, man, it's the biggest fight, you know, by some way. I mean, it's my biggest earner by a long, long way. It's the biggest promo, the biggest build-up, biggest investment, biggest interest, and maybe the biggest competition as well, and the biggest prize in the winner walking away as the man with the 2 world titles. So it's supposed to be this way, you know, and it is, and I'm taking it in my stride. I feel like I've been living a movie for a long time now, and I'm really enjoying myself, so may it long continue.
For this fight with Bam, how much do you feel like you need to prove? Because you said for a long time you're #1 in the world. This is #1, #2. How much do you feel like you have to prove?
I don't feel like I have anything to prove to anyone. I've spent 17, 18 years dedicating and sacrificing my life to my craft, to the sport I love. And I don't feel like I have anything to prove at any point to anyone. I'm a good fighter, I'm a great fighter, potentially, and I think I'm going to prove it and I'm going to show it. But do I need to? No, I don't think I do. I feel like what I've already done in boxing, to go from a young man that a lot of people didn't believe in, you know, from the amateur backgrounds, the England squads, the GB squads, I always got pushed to the side, always got shunned, never got supported. Now that by 25 I'm a world champion, I've already proved everything I've ever needed to. Even more than that, I've been a British champion, I've been all these other, I'm 20 and I'm about to go into a unified, and I'm still breaking division boundaries, I think, because flyweights don't do it like this. Flyweights don't get this interest. Like, I remember when my brother come through, it weren't like this, you know, headlining big shows, America. Like, we've built it up, thanks to him starting the ball rolling, the name, the family name. But I know this is changing the dynamic and the landscape of lightweight boxing, and with events like this is when it, you know, exponentially grows. The more eyes each time, it gets bigger each time, a bigger ripple each time. So, you know, I can capitalize in this event here with a good performance, and all of a sudden I'm one of the marquee names in world boxing, not just British.
With you saying that you don't feel like you need to prove anything to anyone, would you say your motivation comes a lot from like proving it to yourself in a way, like the intrinsic motivations of, you know, what I think I can go out there and prove it?
You did GCSE PE, you didn't you? Intrinsic motivation. GCSE PE, I did that one as well. But in all seriousness, yeah, great point, because it's all for me. I'll be real, yeah, and I've said this before, I genuinely don't know just how good I am, but every time I get in the ring, I can do it. Amateurs, professionals, sparring, every ring, weights above. I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8 weights above. World champions coming to try and take my head off. I don't have the experience of not being a man in a boxing ring. I'm trying to find out where that is. I'll be real, I don't think for a second that Bam's the end of the road. I don't think that for a second. I've shown so much comfortability for so many years that me and my team find it so easy to take these fights because no one makes me feel jeopardy in a boxing ring. No one. Don't matter how big they are, don't matter how strong they are, don't matter how powerful they are, how quick they are, no one does it.
With what you're saying there, and with what you're talking about not proving yourself to anyone, sort of already kind of answers the next question I was going to say. Like, do you relish your feeling in the way for so long in your pro career? Everyone always had you as the favourite. For this fight, there's a couple people that that will be picking against you. So it's like, how would you deal with that?
Well, it's the second time in my career I've been the underdog. The first time was when I won the world title. You know, he hadn't been beaten in 13 years. He was the world #1. He was the best fighter in the world, most avoided fighter in the world at my weight. I took the fight and I beat him. I beat him quite easy in a relative way. It was the hardest ring I've ever been in, that I'll tell you for absolute certainty. No one's made me feel pressure like he has ever before or since. But since then I knew I could do it and then I can improve from that and get the confidence from it. That was my first proper 12-round fight, proper one. And now I've done 3, 4, this will be my 5th, 6th, whatever it is. And now I have my confidence through the roof, my ability and my strength and my maturity, and not just that, how I approach camps, my run-ups. You know, my last one wasn't the best exhibition of that. I had 7 weeks notice and I took him lightly. I'll be real, I kind of said that to everyone. I knew I was going to beat him. I could have beat him like this. So I knew that you weren't going to get the best camp out of me. This one though, you know, I did more runs in the 3 weeks on holiday after my last fight than I did for the 7-week camp before it. I was just chilling, I was training, I'd go to the gym, have a spar, go back, chill, because that was the sort of fight that you booked me for. Now you've got the proper Sonny, the turned on Sonny, the motivated Sonny, the all the way 100%, no cutting corners. If I can't do it for this event, when am I going to do it?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, we will see the best Sonny Edwards out there because we're in. There was some.
Look at me in shape compared to my opponent. Everyone's going, wow, fucking hell, Sonny's like, yes, to take it seriously. When I know in my head I can beat someone at 60-70%, I will get in the ring at 60-70%, just so I've got to mentally switch on. Because otherwise, if I go 100%, that's when I'll mentally switch off.
I was about to say, what do you make of Bam looking so far? I know it's a long way till December, but what did you make of him? A lot of sort of comments on social media talking about his weight. What did you make of it?
He's not ridiculously heavy. He's not as heavy as you think. He's got a swollen side of his face that makes him look worse. And because he's been on the same side of every single promotion, like I've been away fighter, he's been a home fighter. Like that side's the swollen face. He does look worse, I'll be wrong, but he's a bit heavy. He's heavier than me, for sure. He's not wore no tight clothing. At the pool, he weren't taking his top off when I was walking around like flexing my pecs, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is what it is. He's got a long time, 11 weeks. I can go from completely out the game to fighting fit in 11 weeks, so I can only imagine he can too.
You saying there about the Campos fight and only having 7 weeks for it, and you could have beaten him with your eyes closed. Do you feel like sometimes with certain fights, where especially like a Campos fight, was it hard to motivate yourself for a guy that you knew you was levels above?
It was terribly hard to motivate for myself, and without going into too much things too personal right now, there was even other things surrounding that. London wasn't where I wanted to fight. I didn't want to take that fight at 7 weeks notice. There was a lot going behind that. Even the opponent, I didn't really want the opponent. He was looking for a big fight. Bam just got injured and it kind of got, well, we have to get someone, and I got pushed into a venue and a show and a card that I didn't want. So there was a lot of frustration surrounding that fight. So I'll be real, even in the gym I weren't 100% happy, do you know what I mean? So it was...
Just the last one from me. You unified the division, something that you've wanted for so long after December 17th. Is this going to be the start of something special for you, the start of the era of domination?
I've been dominated. Unanimous decision. Sonny Edwards, 20 in a row. Easy. Signed for the best promoter in the world. Unified straight away. Come on, easy. I'm going to do it. And then people are going to be like, wow, he did it, masterclass all of a sudden. All I'm doing is the same thing I did against all those other fighters, but because now you see there has to be some threat. The perceived threat is up. Now when I do the same thing I've been doing, and it looks exactly the same, maybe even a little bit better, oh, now all of a sudden I've just invented fucking the loaf of bread, you know what I mean? Well, no, I've just been doing this over and over again. But when you're watching like, oh, Sonny should be doing a bit more, it's disappointing. When you're going, oh, Bam's really good, oh shit, oh, he's made a miss, oh, wow. All of a sudden the excitement's up, the masterness is up, and the class is up. So keep stacking up the odds against me. forget the easy fighters. I don't want to not fight them because I think they're going to beat me. Line up the hardest, every single one in a row, boom, 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 that's all I care about. Win, lose or draw, go to the next one. Shit fighters get a shit version of me in camp, in the gym, in the sparring, in the fight. Best fighters get the best version of me in the gym, in the camp, in the fight, in the diet, everything. So line them up and I'll take them all down.
100%. Sonny Edwards, thank you for your time and all the...
Alhamdulillah.
Top man, thank you for your time, man. Appreciate it.